space between New Year's and Christmas that is all weird. And it went from 70 degrees yesterday to not quite 30 degrees today. So I'm thinking warm thoughts. I actually have already the idea of what I want to color. So we're going to see if we can find it here. I just have to remember where it was. I think I have forgotten which picture it was that I wanted to color today. Because, yeah, I am in that weird mode where nothing is 100% clear. I think we're going to do this one. So I did see one back here that I really liked. Now I have to remember what I was in the mood to color. I think we're going to do this one. There it is. And of course, there go my birds. So I tried my partner's headset last time. I didn't love it. I'm back to using mine. I didn't realize this didn't have the microphone built into the earpiece, which makes it a bit challenging when I have to walk away from the picture. Why are you yelling at me? Sorry about that. Just had to go deal with some screaming conures real quick. All right. So, hello, Max Barnes. How are we doing today? That's my copper. That's not what I'm looking for. It's always fun putting that first logo Dolphins. I am actually finally starting to relax a little bit. It has been a hectic couple of days going through the holiday weekend, working and family gatherings and all of that. This is one of my favorite little cheapy buys. I'm 90% certain I actually got this guy on Temu or however you say it. Paid a couple of dollars for it. There's some hilarious glitchy pages in it, like probably my favorite glitched page is that one. But I mean, it's worth having one or two pages that you can't color for all of the beautiful ones that you can. Almost all of mine, except for the Selena Fenech books that I have, are fairly inexpensive. I get tricked into the AI coloring book on a regular basis. But I really don't complain all that much because sometimes they come out really good. Usually they only have one or two pages that you can really, really tell, okay, this was done by AI. But the ones that I have that are not, that are done by actual artists, I do always credit them. No problem. I am very excited. I have a new Selena Fenech coloring book coming in next week. So that should be fun. Let's see. There are so many possibilities on this particular page. I'm a little, if I had half the talent that some of these women have, well, people, men, women, and my favorite artist that I've got multiple coloring books of is a woman, but if I had half the talent they did, I would actually be really, really excited. I enjoy my coloring. I do wish I could draw. Though I've got so much nerve damage in my hands at this point that probably would never be a great thing. What's your question, Magic Martinez? Here we go. I will end up going in with a lot of different shades of green and, well, pretty much everything else, but sometimes it's easier to go in with the greens first and then come out with this bright colors afterward. There we go. Honestly, I have two brands of colored pencils that I have right now. One is the brand everybody knows, which is Crayola. I'm trying to get it so you can see it without the glare. The other is, how do you pronounce that? Artlicious. I tend to, and I think I actually have a third, which is Art Skills. If I see a good deal on colored pencils, a lot of times I will just grab them. Sometimes I get really good ones. Sometimes I get ones that aren't great. At some point in this video, I can almost guarantee I will have a fight with one of my pencils that does not want to be sharpened. It happens on a regular basis to the point that I end up with cases like this. But it happens. I'm not fussy with that stuff. I'll usually just laugh it off and keep going. Sometimes I will toss the colored pencil and grab a new one. If it's a color like that copper that I just had in my hand that I cannot do without because I don't have another one, then you'll see me get creative and do things like sharpen the other end. If I hit the point where I'm actually monetized, I may actually start spending money on my supplies, but right now this is just something I do for fun. Hello, Cynthia Brooks. So I go with the cheaper options just to keep my life nice and easy. Now, because this is an AI thing, there's going to be spots where there's no real definition, and I just kind of have to create the looks of definition in it. So just kind of bear with me on those spots. There we go. And this is once again one of those days where I've managed to get hair under my earpiece. It is just a battle that I have to deal with on a regular basis. I have a lot of hair and it loves to get stuck in my earpieces. Excuse me. It's that time of year again. And once again, we have YouTube suggesting that I use the Q&A stickers. Once again, not making that mistake again. It tried to take over my life. It wanted to turn a coloring live into a Q&A live, which is not what I was trying to do at that time. There we go. I'm almost done with this color. And I am only doing like these stems and the long thin leaves in this color. There just happens to be a lot of them. But we'll get a lot more depth when I come in with the other shades on these other types of leaves you see throughout, and in some kind of the shady spots as well. I'm a big believer in using as many different shades of a color as you can get away with to create depth and interest. There we go. I'm really surprised that this ink, this colored piece hung on through this whole process, because it is getting wobbly, which tells me there's a break somewhere underneath it. But that's what happens when you buy the inexpensive option, and just to see, that's what I was talking about. That you get breaks inside the color. But thankfully I was already pretty much done with that beforehand, so it worked out. Now for the everlasting question of where is my sharpener? And I've said it many, many times, I would sharpen on the screen, except I don't want shavings all over my pictures. So I forgot to turn my television down before I sat down. So my birds are quite happily watching another streamer. It's kind of funny. It works out that way, but, you know. They actually have quite a few things they enjoy watching. I tend to let them because it makes my day much quieter when they are happy and entertained. Okay. We're getting a little farther along here. That is not the green I wanted. Aha. Well, that's not good. There's like 3 dozen different greens in here, and I can't find the one I'm looking for. Or all of my greens happen to be in need of sharpening. And I buried my sharpener again. go. Hello, Alfredo. Alfredo Alver, it looks like. I'm not 100% certain how to pronounce it. Thank you. I am terrible with name pronunciation. It's one of my bigger challenges. I am fighting with colored pencils. Please don't mind me. We're going to toss that back in and that back in. And we're going to go with the original pick. Because I am not fighting with colored pencils today. I'm a big fan of, I tend to clean my house in the week before New Year's so that I go into the new year with a much cleaner, happier point of view. So I've been kind of doing that most of the day. So I want to enjoy my relaxed time. I don't know why it is. It makes a difference to me to go into a new year with a clean house, but it really, really does. It's like you get all of the negativity and bad stuff out of the way and cleaned out so that you can go in your new year with a nice, happy, bright, clean mindset. Never mind the fact that my dozen pets will have it messed up in a couple of days anyway. But that is just part of life with pets. Here we go. We are looking a little bit monochromatic right at the moment, but I promise it's gonna get better. We're gonna have fun with some other colors here soon. I just often like to get the greens out of the way. And I'm just using this to kind of reach in and fix those couple of spots that I skipped with the other green, just to kind of create a little bit more depth. It's a simple little trick, but it will make a difference in the long run. There we go. Now we can have some fun and do some flowers. As I said before, some of these are not going to have a lot of definition, and we're just going to kind of have to create it. So that is just part of the deal. When you spend like $1 and change on a book, you can't be mad that that none of the pictures are 100% perfect. That's just the way life goes. And I am kind of just gonna bounce around with my colors a little bit so that we get kind of a good even distribution of different tones. There we go. But I like a lot of blue. Blue is my favorite color by far. So I gotta throw it in there a decent amount. Hello, Rachel. I am from Kentucky and actually just recently moved back here after moving away for a very long time. And I love to sit and just color for... It's a relaxing hobby. It's an easy way to just kind of step away from the day a little bit. And as long as you don't fuss at yourself too hard and try to always make everything 100% perfect, it's a really good way to decompress. Don't you go flying on me. I'm a big fan of just kind of coloring whatever, using whatever colors hit my fingers and catch my attention. I do try to get a good mix, and I do use colors that a lot of people tend to overlook. Like I love my pink. I love my pinks and my blues and my purples, but I'm actually a huge fan of orange. And I'm also a huge fan of yellow, which my orange needs sharpened a little bit, which means I have to... Always got to check the sharpener for hints of lead, because I've been on a spell of crayon colors breaking on me here lately. I say crayons. I do have crayons. I rarely use them. I just don't like the texture all that much. And it's a little bit harder to control the color you get out of them. And that's one thing I do love with colored pencils is you can do so many different shades from one pencil, just depending on how hard you push and what angle you push at. And that is harder to do with the gel pens and the crayons both, but it's really easy with colored pencils. And I do love a good orange just to brighten up a page. Excuse me. I feel like I need a little bit right down here. And on that note, the other color I like to use that I think is highly underrated is yellow. It's another one that's just a really bright, nice, sunny color that just brings so much life with it, in my opinion. It's just cheerful and makes you think of spring and summer and sunshine. Nice, bright, happy feeling color to me. I always feel like they're underrated. People use them, but not all that much. And I think that's kind of sad. Because they really are wonderful. Oh, I missed a patch of leaves. Actually, I missed quite a few patches of leaves. Where'd that green I had go? We'll use this guy because he's handy. I am definitely ready for spring. We got just enough nice weather to be like a tease. Because all weekend it was in the 60s and 70s, and now it's in the I don't know if we actually reached the 30s today. It was just absolutely freezing, at least this morning. I'm not big on that. I like my warm weather. I like to get out and work on my projects outside when I can. So our garden is getting more and more colorful, isn't she? Let's see. Oh, that's an interesting color. It's kind of a... I don't know that I would call that any kind of sand brown. It's more of a peachy orange, but it's pretty. Sometimes I don't know why they label things certain colors, because that is definitely not a brown. Hello, how we doing today? Yeah, it's definitely windy today. Been windy the past couple of days. But it is kind of bizarre. We were having thunderstorms last night and ice today. Nice pretty shade of purple here. Never mind a good purple. It's definitely a good solid color. We're going to do this big guy in this one. It does not sound like Squirrel is having a good day over there. I do not game myself, but I actually thoroughly enjoy watching a handful of game streamers on here. It's one of those things. I am terrible at video games, but I do love to watch them. This is another one of those. I am creating individual flowers out of odd mush. Thank you. I actually love them. I just kind of pick through, and whatever lands in my hand is the color I use. Babies. What are we yelling about? Sorry about that. Do we need a nap? I have small parrots, and they have a lot to say right at the moment. They're a little bit upset with me because we cleaned our cages and our food and water dishes and our blankets and everything else, so they are upset with me because how dare I change things? But they need a clean space. I think everybody needs a clean space from time to time. It's just funny, they act like it's a personal offense that you dare to clean their house. Let's see. Excuse me for one moment. I will be right back. You being sweet now? You want attention? Is that what it is? Yeah. They are fantastic, ridiculous little animals, and I love them. I may threaten to deep fry them occasionally. I actually do that, but it's a running joke in our houses. When the birds are just really, really pushing everybody's buttons, we threaten to make them into chicken nuggets. I would never. Here we go. I have hit my 30-minute mark and didn't even realize it. It's good to throw a good strong color in there every so often. I am getting to the point where I'm about ready to pick a color, and that will be the final color of flowers, but I'm not there yet. I think we are going to actually make this little grouping here, that red though. And this guy. And then this guy here. I think that's enough red. Let's see. Let's do a different shade of pink, shall we? I only put a little bit of pink, so. And pink is definitely a solid color for flowers. I'm going to kind of do a good chunk around there. There's another green spot I missed. I feel like there was another one that I'd... Excuse me. There we go. So I do get to a point where I'm kind of ready to be done with a section, and I'll start doing more in the colors I'm using. But can you blame me? There are a lot of flowers on this, and I have done a lot of colors. But we're almost there. Forever finding green spots that I missed. I think we can probably get away with one more shade. Now the question is, what will it be? Dark blue. Okay, why not? We are not going to complain about that. And I literally, what I did is, I just put hand in my colored pencil box and grabbed the first pencil my hand landed on. And this is what came up. I'll probably do one more color just because this is kind of a strong one. But I will never complain about some blue. Blue is my favorite color. And I think We're going to do a different shade of orange for this guy, just because he looks like he needs to be orange. Once again, I spot a leaf that I missed. Because why not? There we go. And there's another leaf that I missed. And we'll pop a couple of these in. Not sure if this is supposed to be flowers or rocks, so I've decided it is rocks. It might be grass. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain what that's supposed to be. Sometimes you kind of have to guess. Let's see. I think this will be our final color of flowers and things of that nature. It is a nice fun color though. And I don't know if you can hear it, but if you can, that oddball noise in the background is my dog snoring. And I think we're going to take this kind of taupey brown color and we're going to make these rocks because we can. All right. Now, just a nice solid brown for our trees. Tree's got some weird growth going on, but we're not pushing it too hard. Oof. The angle over here is not great. Try that again. There we go. Clean that up a little bit better. My birds are trying so hard to get my attention. They have decided they are no longer mad and they want to play. So I will be playing with them when I get done. Because I am not one to say no to my birds. Now I gotta find my silver. There's my gold. We'll need that, so we'll set it aside. I do want you and you. I am a big fan of using the, yes, I know I just colored a flower and I am not fussing about that. I am a big fan of using the gel pens to highlight details. They just add a little bit of shine and shimmer that wouldn't be there with just pencils. Which I don't know why I'm going so hard to make sure I have those little points in there, because we are going to go over those with the silver, and we're going to go down each of the lines, I think. There we go. We're making our way through. Oops. Pardon me as I just knocked my tripod over. No biggie. I think this will just add that little bit more oomph to it. I guess I should do this part across as well. Not doing a great trace there, am I? I think we're just going to do this top piece. And then we're going to come back down to this. My birds are being absolutely pitiful now, trying to get me to come pay attention to them. I don't know how much you guys can hear, but I think it's adorable. I love them. I wouldn't take anything for them. Which is probably why they're as spoiled as they are. There we go. We're making progress. I knew this piece would take just a little bit longer than normal, but I'm kind of okay with it. I don't have anywhere to be today. Taking a break from my cleaning is not a bad plan. I just saw that from Go Dolphins. Thank you much. Ooh, that was kind of a neat little catch. Now for the tricky part. We're going to just use a simple gray for this, since there's no detail in there, and I don't want to leave it white, but we're going to also come in with a darker gray as well, just kind of add a little bit of depth here and there. Nothing crazy, just kind of create some illusion of depth in there. And then I think we are going to go with gold for this building. It looks like it should be to me. It looks like it should be gold, in my opinion. So that's what we're going to do, is the whole building, but then we're going to come through with my handy dandy gel pen and create some detail. And I know this is supposed to be in the background, and it's not necessarily the focal point, but it's a focal point. If you're into photography at all, you know about the whole multifocal perspective. Fun. I can't believe I've been at this for 45 minutes already. Let's see. Go. I'm not going super nuts with it, just a few spots here and there, just adding a little bit of depth and a little bit of shimmer. Making it a nice, shiny, shimmery little building in the background. My heater just kicked on. That's kind of nice. I think I'm going to stop before I go overboard on that. We're going to fix this little chunk of tree that I missed. Give it the tiniest hint of a sky and call it a day. There we go. I grabbed a different green than the trees are, but that's okay. Adds a little bit more detail. Excuse me. And then we're going to grab this blue that I used before. Just do the suggestion of color. And if you've watched me before, you've heard me say that before. It's just a hint. It's better than leaving it completely white without going too crazy with it either. But I think I am pretty satisfied with how that turned out. And I'm going to go ahead and stop there. And I will talk to you guys next time.